Custom. You live in Dandytown with all your favorite dandy characters like Desperate Dan, Percy Payne, Beryl the Peril, Winker Watson, Corky the Cat, Brain Dwayne, and many, many more. And today we got Percy Payne meets Ivy the Terrible in Valentine's. You all approach the park and see a large group gathered around a stage, watching as Percy Payne and Ivy the Terrible meet for the first time. Percy is standing tall and confident, while Ivy is trembling with fear. As you get closer, you can see that Ivy is clutching a giant heart, trying to hide it from view. Hey guys! As you make your way to the stage, you see Percy Payne standing tall and confident, while Ivy the Terrible is trembling with fear. You turn to your crew and say, "Hey guys, come on over here and take a look." You say, "Huh? It's Ivy." You say, It's Ivy, as you point to the terrified girl clutching a giant heart. Your crew looks at you in confusion, but before they can say anything, Ivy begins to speak. "Why, you know who I am," she stammers, her eyes darting around nervously. I am the Terrible." Who are you?" ask Percy Payne. "Who are you?" you ask Percy, looking at the girl with a mix of confusion and concern. Percy takes a step forward, looking down at Ivy with a small smile on his face. "I'm Percy Payne," he says, extending a hand towards her. "Nice to meet you, Ivy." Hi!" Ivy shouts. "Hi!" Ivy shouts, feeling a bit more at ease now that she's been introduced to Percy. You can see that she's still trembling slightly, but at least she's not hiding anymore. As Ivy extends her hand towards Percy, you notice a glimmer of recognition in her eyes. "I've heard so much about you." Ivy the love as might a bit point towards up to Valentine's Day. As Ivy the Terrible points towards the giant heart, you can see that she's a bit nervous. "That's a heart made of love," you say, noticing the heart hanging from the tree nearby. Ivy looks at you with surprise and excitement, clearly not expecting the heart to be there. "Oh, how sweet!" You say, "I love this tree. I'll be in such an hurry to made by choice." "I love this tree," you say, smiling at the sight. "I've been so busy lately that I haven't had time to decorate it. I just wanted to make sure it was there for Valentine's Day." Ivy nods eagerly, her eyes lighting up with excitement. "That's so nice of you." What's the big joke, Ivy?" Percy he said. "What's the big joke, Ivy?" Percy asks, looking at the girl with a mischievous glint in his eye. Ivy blushes slightly and looks down at her feet. I don't know," she stammers. "I just thought it would be funny if I met the Terrible here." By this time Percy and Ivy ran into the lovers through the Flowers Hill. By this time, Percy and Ivy have followed the lovers through the Flowers Hill, feeling a bit overwhelmed by the beauty around them. They stop in the middle of the path, looking up at the towering trees and the vibrant flowers that surround them. "This is incredible," Ivy says, her eyes wide with wonder. "I've never seen anything like it." You say, "If they do so?" "If they do so?" you ask, looking at Percy and Ivy with a knowing smile. They both nod eagerly, clearly enjoying the moment. "We'll have to show them what we've got," Percy says, grinning mischievously. "Come on, Ivy, let's go explore the park some more." Then, just as quiet evening in the park. Ivy carried Percy so much clever. As the sun begins to set, you all make your way back to the park, feeling content and happy. Ivy carries Percy with ease, her arms wrapped tightly around his waist. You can see that he's enjoying himself, laughing and joking with her. It's a perfect evening, and you're grateful for the chance to relax and enjoy the beauty of the park. It might lend a two children loves his Valentines. "Oh, Percy." Ivy sighs. "You are very unpleasant." "Oh, Percy," Ivy sighs, looking down at the man in her arms. "You are very unpleasant." You can see that she's starting to get tired, but she's still smiling. "But it's worth it," she says, squeezing him a little bit tighter. "I'm having so much fun with you." Meanwhile, Percy and Ivy gave both they kisses and smooches. Meanwhile, Percy and Ivy give both of their kisses and smooch, feeling content and happy in each other's arms. You can see the love between them, and you're grateful for the happiness they bring to the park. As the night falls, you all settle down on a bench near the lake, enjoying the peacefulness of the park. You Percy give her hug. Ah. Percy and Ivy sigh. Percy pulls Ivy into a tight embrace, wrapping his arms around her waist. I love you, Ivy, he whispers, kissing her forehead. Always and forever. Ivy blushes and hugs him back, her heart swelling with love. You can see that they're a beautiful couple, filled with love and joy. You say, easy can be myself, discover to me. Easy can be myself, discover to me, you say, looking at Ivy and Percy with a smile. They both turn to look at you, their faces filled with gratitude. Thank you, Ivy says softly. I feel like I can finally be myself around you. Percy nods in agreement, his eyes shining with love. I feel the same way. You, well, Ivy gasps, was this happening to me, Percy? Moan Ivy. Well, I was wondering if you could do me a favor, Ivy says, looking up at Percy with a glint of excitement in her eyes. Could you take me home? Percy smiles at Ivy, his heart swelling with love. Of course, my love, he says, pulling her into a tight embrace. You say, what? As long as could be gasp is so yucky. What? As long as it can be gasp is so yucky, you say, chuckling at Percy and Ivy's reaction. They both laugh, their love and affection shining through. I'm just joking, you say, patting Percy on the back. I'm happy for you, Ivy. You deserve to be happy. You, groan Percy. I got is my best friend Peter and me as your picture, Ivy, pretend Percy. I got is my best friend Peter and me as your picture, Ivy, Percy says, looking down at the ground. I didn't want to ruin our moment with all the noise and chaos. Ivy smiles at him, her eyes softening. It's okay, Percy. I understand. She pulls him into another embrace, holding him close. You say, did you forgotten my special large chocolates with my Valentine's Day? Did you forget my special large chocolates with my Valentine's Day, you say, looking at Ivy and Percy with a mischievous grin. They both laugh, their love and affection shining through. I don't think I'll forget it, Ivy says, squeezing Percy's hand. Thank you, Percy. Of course, my love. You she wave himself, goodbye, Percy, sigh Ivy. Goodbye, Percy. Ivy says, waving goodbye to him as he walks away with Peter. You watch them go, feeling a warm feeling in your heart. You know that you're lucky to have such beautiful people in your life, and you're grateful for the love and happiness they bring to the park. You later, back to the Dandytown in the house at Desperate Dan and the gang so long. Later, back in the Dandytown, you make your way to the house at Desperate Dan and the gang, feeling content and happy. You're greeted with cheers and hugs from your friends, who seem to have missed you. Hey, where were you? Dan asks, grinning at you. We were worried about you. You, I've so just old chocolates with the box from Valentine's, Uncle Dan, Percy cried. I've just arrived, Uncle Dan, you say, holding out the box of chocolates. I got them from Ivy and Percy. Dan opens the box and takes out a few chocolates, handing them to you. I'm glad you made it back in one piece, he says, giving you a warm smile. You, so what do you think Winker Watson, Beryl the Peril and Brain Dwayne, he asks. So what do you think, Winker Watson, Beryl the Peril, and Brain Dwayne? Dan asks, looking around at his friends. I'm glad you're all here. I have a surprise for you. He pulls out a small box from his pocket and opens it, revealing a set of magic wands. I've been practicing them. You Winker replied, quick as watch to lend at early took Ivy away. Quick as a wink, Uncle Dan, Winker replies, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Ivy has to leave for a bit, but we'll be back soon. Dan nods, looking pleased with himself. Well, I'm glad you're all here, he says, grinning at you. We have some celebrating to do. You Dwayne was gasped, It's nice. It's nice, Dwayne says, looking around at the group with a smile. I'm glad we all got to hang out for a while. Dan grins, his eyes shining with happiness. Yeah, we got to catch up on everything. It's good to have you back, Winky. You can always seems to my Percy and Ivy special hour chocolate, cried Beryl. You can always seems to my Percy and Ivy special hour chocolate, Beryl says, her eyes shining with happiness. I'm just glad we got to hang out and enjoy each other's company. You smile at her, feeling grateful for the bonds of love and friendship that bind you to your friends. I'm glad we could all be here. You say, here's your Celebrate Valentine gift box. Here's your Celebrate Valentine gift box, you say, handing it to the group. They all cheer and hug you, thanking you for the thoughtful gesture. You're the best, Winky, Beryl says, giving you a playful punch on the arm. You always know how to make us feel special. And, thanks to Desperate Dan at Dandytown Valentines, cheer Percy. And, thanks to Desperate Dan at Dandytown Valentines, Percy says, grinning at you. Without their support and care, we wouldn't have been able to enjoy this moment with you. You smile at him, feeling grateful for his love and affection. I couldn't have done it without all of you, you say, squeezing his hand. You say, goodbye. Take a turn. Continue. Retry. Erase.